Welcome to Voluntaryist Academy. This channel is dedicated to teaching natural law and to the abolition of slavery in the 21st century. Join me, James Cordiner, your guide through many important and some forgotten historical articles, along with interviews featuring today's most important voluntarist leaders that outline what we can and need to do today to further usher in a condition of real freedom for us and for the future. Voluntarism leads to real freedom. All other political philosophies allow a ruling class to engage in violence and coercion against the majority. Voluntarists reject the artificially indoctrinated belief system of statism in favor of true freedom through the voluntary interactions between free people. Voluntarist Academy will teach all things regarding the only ism that is fair for everyone. Subscribe today and hit the notification bell so you don't miss a thing. And on your way out, just remember, you own yourself, period. All right. Welcome back, everybody. James Cordiner here. I wanted to start by giving a little bit of a live intro to what I'm about to air. Speaking the truth is hard work. Okay? Many people do it, and not a lot of people want to listen. The majority of people would rather stay silent or turn a blind eye to the truth. Yeah. Yet, we speak it anyways. We continue to fight for what is moral, regardless of who is listening. It's really a shame that more people don't listen and actually apply these teachings to their lives. Imagine, just for a moment, if you will, imagine the improvement that could be made to the living condition we are all mostly stuck in, for now, at least. Imagine the real change that would come. Just picture that in your mind and let it sit there for a little bit. Imagine dedicating your life to this, and still, no matter what you do, no one seems to be listening. Imagine, sitting there thinking no one seems to care. I want to ask, would you be able to remain calm if that were what you were facing? My guest, who I'm about to air the interview with, Mark Passio, he's no stranger to speaking the truth, even when it needs to be spoken harshly. Which brings me to the interview that you are about to watch is an exercise in self-expression, the likes of which is seldom seen, unless you regularly watch Mark Passio's show that he used to do called What on Earth is Happening? Now, having said that, I urge my listeners, the people that come here, to not fall prey to the trappings of your ego. We all have one in one sense or another, but really just listen to what Mark is saying. Listen to the words that he's saying. Okay, never mind the emotion behind them. It's great that he's able to express himself in such a manner, but I want you guys to just listen to what he's saying. And then I want you to ask yourself one question. Really, and answer it honestly. You don't have to tell anybody the answer, but answer for yourself, real honestly. Ask yourself this one question. Am I a part of the problem, or am I a part of the solution? There's one last thing I need to bring up before I can really air this interview, and that is that I need to ask for your help. I personally need help. My website is down. It's currently offline. I need to get it back up. The funds are tight around here right now. I'm sure a lot of other people are feeling that kind of strain as well. Maybe even some of the people that are watching and listening to this right now. But a little bit can go a long way when a lot of people are contributing together. So I kind of wanted to bring that up. I would greatly appreciate any help that anybody could send my way. There are various ways to help me out with with this. There's links in the show notes where you can donate. You can buy yourself a t-shirt, and I get some money for that. That would be great. That'd be really cool. Get some t-shirts out there. So all those links, and if you don't see an option that works for you, you can email me at voluntaristacademy@proton.me. That's also in the show notes. So we can discuss it. We can discuss something there if you really, feel like you could help. I'm also excited to announce the launch of my online community, which is currently under review from Patreon. I tried to verify my identity with those fuckers over there, and something happened. So I'm going to get that going as soon as I can. It's going to include a Discord community, like a chat room, and bi-weekly town halls where you can come and hang out with me for a few hours, and we can talk about the stuff on the show. I might even be able to get some of the guests that have come on the show to make appearances there, and you can ask them questions. Who knows what could happen? So stay tuned for updates on that. Thanks again for hearing me out on this. I really do appreciate it. All my content's going to be for free. It's always going to be free. I'm going to keep doing it. Unfortunately, I don't have a website right now, which really, really sucks. But we just talked about that. Thank you for tuning in. I'm James Cordiner. This is Voluntaryist Academy, and my guest is Mark Passio. This is a pre-recorded interview, so he's not here live, but hop in the chat and chat it up. Let me know what you guys think about what Mark has to say, and I'll see you guys on the other side. Buckle up, kids. This is a good one. I just did a recording of Be Right or Go Wrong. Nice. And it's up on the channel. I decided to read the whole booklet from cover to cover. What other way better than to cover that material in such a fashion?
It's good stuff.
Yeah, and so I wanted to kind of pick your brain about that, because you're the one who introduced me to that material years ago. So where did you hear about Richard Wetherill and his work?
Listeners brought him to my attention because they said that the things that I was saying about natural law were in fact so close to his work that they wondered whether I was sort of extracting material from his work. And I told a couple of listeners after them mentioning his name, no, I have not heard of him and read his writings, and I was not extracting things from his work. I was simply presenting my own findings with regard to natural law, some garnered from other teachers, but not Wetherill himself. And when I read Wetherill's work, I was like just profoundly amazed by his strong grasp of natural law. Just profound work. What I find the most important in Wetherill's work is he really identifies being able to come to correct conclusions about morality by nature of the way you think. When you have wrong thinking implanted in your mind, it works like a mind virus. It distorts everything taking place in the processes of mind that lead to a correct choice. And then it skews your behavior toward immorality. So as is the very first Hermetic principle and natural law principle, everything is mind. Everything is generated from mind. If the mind is imbalanced and skewed and not thinking properly, you're going to always get wrong results. You're always going to come out on the other side incorrect and therefore immoral. And Wetherill very, very precisely and correctly describes this process and activity that takes place within the mind. And that's why one of his big solutions is you really have to get your mind in correct functioning order. If your logical processes of your brain and mind are not working correctly and your thinking is distorted, it is always going to lead your behavior toward chaotic results. You're always going to get things that you say you don't want. but you're getting the results that you don't want. This is what I am trying to explain to the freedom community. And the people within it are such low-level thinkers because all they see is there's a control system. Humanity is enslaved. What is the point of knowing that if you don't understand the way out? And then in the next breath, these people are so ill-educated, they're so dumb, they're so egotistical, and they don't even know what the ego is. You could say the word ego, they don't understand the word. They don't understand the conceptual idea that I am speaking when I say the word ego, egotistical, egotism. It does not compute. There's an internal dictionary mistranslation in their internal frameworks of their mind. They can't get the conceptual idea that I'm trying to convey. It has to literally be spelled out in painstaking detail. And Wetherill's talking about this as well. The ego is the force inside the mind that sets up camp and says, this is my house. Screw you. Screw whatever you want to think. Screw whatever order you want to bring into this house. I'm crapping all over it, and I'm staying here entrenched firmly, and I'm going to call the shots, and I'm not going to allow you to see the truth or ever acknowledge that you're incorrect. That's what the ego is. The ego isn't, I have an ego, I can say things about myself, I could even have a high opinion about myself. If it's true, I have a high opinion of myself and my work. As a matter of fact, all of the anger that I ever display in any of my work is not related to me as a human being. I put my house in order. I put my ego in check. Just because I say my work is excellent and I've done better than other people have is not ego. That's not ego, capital E, problem ego. Everybody has an ego, or I wouldn't understand. If I didn't have an ego, I would not understand that in order to sip this drink of water, I need to hold the straw to my own lips and pull on it and take a drink. I'd be going to the video of you on the screen like this and trying to put the straw in your mouth on the screen if I didn't have an ego. This is what the people in the freedom movement can't delineate because they're that mentally retarded. That's what it is. And that isn't an insult. That means they've been slowed down. You know what they've been? Retardation means the process of slowing something down. If you put a bunch of sandbags in a creek, you have retarded the flow of the water in the creek. That's what to retard means. It means to slow a process down. And what their mental processes have been slowed down by is vaccinations, crap food that they're putting into their body on a daily basis, crap so-called medication, harmful pharmaceuticals, crap ideas that they're listening to other people and getting embedded into their mind like a mental virus. These people in the freedom movement, which I don't even call the freedom movement anymore, my name for it is the bum fight. The bum fight. And again, I'm going to be scathing. I'm finished being polite. I'm finished being polite. As a matter of fact, like I blatantly, openly say, I want to do less that is more brutally impactful. That's what I want to do. I want to make brutal, sudden impacts and do them less and less frequently, quite honestly, because it's not worth my effort of me even generating the voice coming out of my mouth. I've said everything that needs to be said in life, period, on earth. I've said every single thing that could possibly be said. And the problem is the bum fight will not listen to those words. What they do, and they're horrendous at it, and this translates directly to natural law, directly. All they'll say is, his voice is too harsh and shrill. Well, guess what? That's your problem, ass. That's your problem. That isn't my problem. If you did this for 20 years, your voice would be harsh and shrill too, to bums who don't know how to think. You see? That's not ego. Ego is staying in the inability to think clearly and rationally and recognize natural law and recognize when wisdom is being spoken to you, but you can't even hear it because your ego's in the way. That's what I'm talking about when I tell people their ego's in the way. That's what Satanism is. Satanism is, I don't care what this guy's saying or whether it's true. Listen to how angry he's saying it. You're under mind control. That's what mind control is. You've been conditioned not to hear the truth in a statement, only the vibratory energy of the voice. The media conditioned you to be like that. Your school teachers conditioned you to be like that. Your bum parents conditioned you to be like that. Your bum friends conditioned you to be like that. That's why these people are bums who can't think. That's the reason, because they've taken in crap through virus, through vaccines, through food and water and the air and poison that they're putting into their body. Then you have other straight jackasses. Not only can't they understand what I mean by the term egotism, refusing to listen to what's true, not recognizing natural law, saying that your ridiculous solutions are the answer and natural law is garbage and has nothing to do with the answer. You see, that's what ego is, the inability to hear and recognize truth. And then you thinking you have it right when you're completely screwed up. These people haven't gotten their mind right. And that's what I'm angry about. I'm angry because people haven't done the internal work. That's what leads to the solution, is changing who you are inside, aligning your behavior with objective morality and truth. These people couldn't give a crap about that in the freedom movement. They think the answer is voting for the next president. They think the answer is some new cryptocurrency that they're going to get rich off of in a pump and dump scheme. That's all they care about. They don't care about what's right or true. It never entered into the equation. They never spoke it one time. They never heard it one time. They're not listening to the right things. They're not asking the right questions. They're not coming to the right conclusions. That's why they're bums. That's why this isn't a movement. There is no even attempt for freedom in the so-called freedom movement. It's a bunch of dumb bums flailing away, grabbing at things in the air, thinking that they're accomplishing something, and they've made zero movement toward reality, toward truth, toward freedom. Then they want to point at me and say the problem's with me because I'm angry at their stupidity and lack of fucking comprehension. The problem doesn't lie with me. The problem lies with people whose fucking egos are so big and so in the fucking way of listening. That's where the problem is. They can't learn because they were never taught to shut the fuck up and listen. They can't do it because their parents fucked them up. Their teachers fucked them up. Their school fucked them up. The air and water and food fuck them up. The fucking vaccines fuck them up. And they're completely fucked up, not trying to get well, and then screaming at somebody who has conquered those fucking things in themselves. The only thing I honestly haven't conquered in myself is my pure rage at how fucking retarded these people are and won't fucking even look at what the real answer is, which is to change the way you think about authority, which is to change the way you think regarding your entire worldview, which is to change yourself for the better. They're not doing any mental self-improvement. They don't know how to think. They don't know how to come to the correct conclusions. They don't have the trivium process in hand. They haven't begun. They're the unbegun, just like the Satanists call them. They haven't started the process of self-improvement, and they don't want to, because you tell them that's the answer. The answer is improving upon yourself and how you think and your ability to come to the correct answers. They're not doing that process at all. All they do is point fingers externally. You can't point fingers externally if you're still completely screwed up in the brain and you can't think correctly. That's their problem. That's what the ego is. That's what Satanism is. And this is what I'm trying to explain to them. And they say, I'm not giving you an answer. I'm giving you the totality of the answer. You're just too fucking egotistical and stupid to fucking be able to hear it. And then the problem is me being honest and saying that. That's the problem in this movement. That's why nobody likes me anymore. Well, fuck them. I don't need them to like me. What I do need is for people to understand what I'm saying. You don't need to fucking like me. I don't need to like you. The problem is they are uninterested in hearing how reality works. That's why they won't read somebody like Wetherill. That's why they won't listen to my podcast or presentations. They're egotistical. They think they know fucking how everything works. They don't know shit about how anything works. This movement is the bum fight. It's a fight between bums with no knowledge, no skill. That's what a bum is. A bum is a piece of crap that does nothing, that doesn't try to self-improve, that sits around on their ass, lazy ass all day. They don't do anything, and all they do is create chaos in the world. And that's what the freedom movement is. It's a bunch of low-life fucking street bums. Listen to what I am saying. My assessment of the freedom movement is up to this point. This is how tragically awful their thinking, their analysis, their comprehension, their understanding of anything that is related to the truth about how reality functions in this universe. They're street fucking bums fighting with each other over nonsense and not willing to listen to years upon years upon years of deeply researched work regarding the nature of how the laws of reality function, how to get your mind right, and how to put your behavior into harmony with those laws so that you don't generate self-inflicted suffering. And that is the fucking solution. That is the fucking answer. I've been giving people the answer since the first fucking second. Telling them the answer outright, not even making them have to strive that hard to get the answer, to figure it out for themselves. I've been straight up telling them what it is, and they still can't hear it because they're so fucking dumb. So what's the point of saying another word? I've said everything that ever needs to be said, and that's why I'm even saying it like this on this interview. This may be my last interview ever. I said I wasn't going to do an interview, and I gave you an interview because I felt like you do a phenomenal job. I'm impressed with your work, and therefore I kind of owe you a little bit of my time. So, but I'm going to come out and just say what I think to this whole movement. And people should take it to heart, really examine their own thinking, really examine their own behavior about what they think. You know, it's still a bunch of people who are even on the fence about something as simple as authority, that still can't comprehend all claims of authority or claims of ownership of another being. And that's called slavery. We have a definition for that. The words mean something for a reason. When you claim to own somebody else, which is what authority over someone definitionally is, it means you're claiming to own them. That's what authority is. That's slavery. There's a definition for the word slavery. It means claiming ownership of another being. And they still don't get this. This whole community doesn't even get something that simple. And we think we're going to make progress on hard internal work that has to be done upon the heart and mind. We think we're making any progress. We don't even get that simple, basic moral principle. And we're going to make progress on defeating the satanic globalists that run this whole fucking society. This movement is the biggest. Look, I don't usually come out and even share very personal details. I'm just going to come out and tell you, I've recently been in communication via email with someone who was involved in the Church of Satan when I was in it. They are telling me the whole higher level satanic network and community is laughing so hysterically at what people think is an awakening of the world. They cannot stop pissing their pants laughing. And I don't think he's a liar. I don't think he's saying that to be like, oh, we're really scared, but we better put on a fake air of that we're not worried and we're laughing at them. It's not that at all. Believe me, these people are very out in the open, very honest when they want to be. And I'm telling you, they're laughing at what the freedom movement thinks is making progress and accomplishment. Because why? They voted in Trump. That's what they think is going to solve the problems of this world without doing any self-improvement and shadow work upon oneself and the inner recesses of one's psyche to correct wrong thinking. This is what Wetherill is talking about in Be Right or Go Wrong. It's so simple. If you don't have the answer right because you're stupid, you're going to come to incorrect conclusions about how everything works. And then your behavior is going to be fucked up and you're going to be creating chaos in the world. This is not that difficult to comprehend. And that's the answer. The answer, dumb fucks out there. The answer, egotistical, satanic, retarded children attempting to fucking listen, but too fucking burnt in the fucking brain to comprehend the words coming out of my mouth. You've been given the answer. You've been given the occult secret of secrets. You change your thinking and align it with truth, align it with reality, not what you think the answer is. You align it with the trivium. You align it with natural law. You align it with objective morality. You understand there can't be anything as authority. It's a claim of ownership. That's slavery. Therefore, it's fucking wrong. You don't even have that right. You're going to get all kinds of subtleties correct. You don't even have the basics correct. This movement can't even agree that slavery's wrong because they can't even fucking recognize what slavery is. This is how dumb people are. And then they want to complain the problem's at my anger at their stupidity. No, it isn't. It never was.
Well, I appreciate your vitriol. I appreciate your approach to this, and it is true what you are saying. The bigger issues here, the what's at stake, it'll never be solved until people change what's between their ears and get their minds right and recognize reality exists objectively, morality exists objectively, and they start getting with the picture on that plane. And this
you'll notice that none of the critics, none of the retarded critics out there will ever touch natural law and morality. They'll never talk about it. They'll never get in a fucking conversation, a debate, an argument about that because they know nothing about it and they get destroyed in an argument or a debate about that because it doesn't matter what they say. There's logical truth and reality to morality. You don't do certain things because they're harmful against other sentient beings and they steal or diminish from the other being. That's it. That's it. Murder, assault, rape, theft, trespass, coercion, and deception. They steal. It's all theft. All rights are property rights. This is the answer. Understanding what property is, understanding what you don't and what you don't own, and deciding willfully not to take what doesn't belong to you. These dumb fucks, these dumbcoffs.
It couldn't be. No fucking way could it ever possibly be that's easy, simple. Mark Passio.
Yeah, impossible. It's absolutely impossible that the answer, here's the answer, dumbcoffs. Don't steal. Don't condone stealing. See? So if you're advocating for stealing and taking things that don't belong to you from good people, bad people, you could advocate anything against. They forfeit their rights. When somebody has conducted harm, they've forfeited their rights. Therefore, they're open to action being taken against them. I'm not talking about bad people. And guess what? Then people will say, how could you advocate that you think people should suffer? Because they're too comfortable. That's why they don't get this stuff. They don't want to learn what's right and wrong. They don't care about what's right and wrong. And that makes them a bad person. Therefore, they are harming other people by what they're advocating and what they're not understanding. Ignorance becomes harmful when you don't understand rights, when you don't understand freedom. You don't have the right not to understand those things. This is what people don't understand. They still don't get that. They think you could be ignorant about anything you want. I could be ignorant about the process that manufactured this metal straw. I don't need to know that. That isn't about morality. That isn't about justice. That isn't about right and wrong. I don't need to understand the manufacturing process of a fucking metal straw. What I need to know is how natural law works. What I need to know is what objective morality is. What I need to do is align my behavior to those things instead of fucking breaking natural law or advocating that it be broken by others. And when I say they deserve suffering, it's true. It isn't me taking up the position of harm. It's saying that's what bad people deserve. Bad people deserve harmful action being taken against them. They've forfeited their right to remain unharmed. When you're a good person, your right to remain intact, your right to remain unharmed remains intact. Once you've become a evil fuck, you don't have the right to remain unharmed anymore. And that's what people who advocate for government really are. They're evil fucking people. They're bad people who advocate that other people steal from other people. That's it. They think certain people have rights that other people don't, and their claim of ownership called authority on other beings is valid and moral. And it isn't. It isn't. And to advocate for that makes someone a bad person deep inside their fucking heart and mind. And this is what people don't want to acknowledge. They don't want to comprehend this. They don't want to acknowledge it. That's what I mean by ego being in the fucking way.
They're advocating for slavery.
I removed that wrong mental thinking. That's what ego, capital E, in the bad sense means. I haven't removed the ego that if I want a sip of water, this straw has to go in my mouth, not someone else's. It's not that hard to figure out. People are just total egotistical pricks, and they're bums. All they want to do is complain about other people's work when they have no fucking contribution to speak of. Not one, not a fucking word. They're shit clackers. That's what I call them. Diarrhea shit clackers on the keyboard. They clack at the keyboard and diarrhea splatters up onto their fucking face. That's what they are. Shit clackers. All they know how to do is shit talk on some fucking bullshit social media fucking page. They've never contributed one piece of real fucking work to the conversation because they're bums. That's what a bum is. That's what a bum does. They're bums. This is what we have to start calling these fucking people. Calling them the dead, calling them the asleep, calling them the unbegun, calling them the unwashed masses, calling them the sheeple isn't even good enough. It doesn't even insult them enough. They're fucking bums. That's what they are. A bum is some street fuck that does nothing, that tries to live off of other fucking people, that contributes nothing to fucking society, that does nothing but fucking take. That's what they are. They're energy vampires. They're fucking bums. What they need to be done with these people is to be attacked and ostracized. They need to be told, you're a fucking dumb bum. Shut your fucking mouth and listen. That's what the ego is. The ego is the force that says, I can't listen. Do you realize how long I had to remain silent? Silent. To shut the fucking mind up. To shut this fucking voice up. To learn what I know. For years and years, I had to do nothing but listen to other people with more knowledge and wisdom than myself. Because I was a fucking bum. I was a fucking retard. I was a fucking dumb cough. I was that thing. I was what I'm describing. I conquered those things. They're conquerable. They're changeable with effort, with hard fucking work, with hard work at the expense of other things that the ego wants to do. That's what I mean by the ego. The ego is that voice that won't shut the fuck up and listen. That's what it is. That's what I conquered. I was able to shut the fuck up and listen. These bums can't do it in this movement because that's all they are. They're shit-clacking, voice in the mind, chattering away like verbal fucking diarrhea, street bums. And I'm finished with them. I'm finished with this movement. I honestly really don't even want to go on any bigger interviews. I wanted to do that maybe to get the word out, and all I see is satanic ego. The satanic religion won. It conquered everything. It conquered the fucking earth. It conquered the people of earth. The people of earth have become rampant horse shit. That's what they are. They're hammered horse shit. Again, it's like putting a big glop of horse shit on your desk, grabbing a hammer and smacking away. That's what they are. And all you do is splatter shit all over yourself. That's what these people are. Hammered horse shit. They're junk. They're sewage. There is no prima materia to work with. There's no starting point of decent matter to work with. You can't shine shit. That's what this movement is. There's hardly any good people in it. The few good people are in it are too few to make an impact. The influencers in it are too dumb to recommend fucking logic and wisdom being spoken. They can't hear it because all they hear is the only thing that matters to them. This is how dumb these people are. Let me give you an anecdote from my own cousin. Okay. And I don't give a shit. Everybody can get as fucking offended as they want. I don't care who finds out. I don't care if it starts a fucking war between me and my family members. Okay. My dumb fucking cousin posts on her Facebook page. No one will ever remember anything that you ever said or ever did. The only thing anyone will ever remember about you is the way you made them feel. And do you know what that is? Do you know what that is? In one word, can I tell everybody in the listening audience what that ideology is? Can you take a guess? Can anybody take a guess at what that is? That's called fucking Satanism! Satanism! But you don't care about what's right and true. All you care about is how you fucking feel. And people wonder why I'm upset. That's a member of my own family who had access directly to my fucking philosophy and wisdom that I've been speaking for 50 fucking years. But really, let's say it what it is, since I really woke up for 20 fucking years, for about 23 years, I've been basically at the level of knowledge that I'm at now. 23 years have gone by, not asked for one fucking sentence out of me, and that's what they're posting publicly. Don't worry about what you ever say or ever do. Those are fucking meaningless things. The ideas you propagate to other people are meaningless. The behaviors that you take in the natural world are meaningless. All that matters is how you make other people feel. Pure fucking sensate Satanism. That's all they're worried about. Am I comfortable? Do I feel good? That's what a fucking piece of satanic verminish trash thinks like. That's the whole problem in this world. I'm telling you the answer. I've been giving solutions, you dumb fucks. The answer is not to think like that. To get your fucking head straight and to worry about what's true, what's right, and what's just in the world instead of how you fucking feel. How many fucking times, length of time, ways, methods, can I fucking say the same thing over and fucking over again before I have to just conclude I'm dealing with retarded people who are never going to understand? I would like people to actually legitimately answer that. We can talk about natural law all day, but if we don't talk about people's inability to hear reality and truth, and this is what almost everyone is. It's not a small portion. We're not talking about a tiny few bad apples think this way. The whole godless fucking piece of trash called humanity thinks this way, with the exception of a few good apples. It's the exact reverse inversion. And that's how you know Satanism conquered and won, because it inverted everything. It made almost everybody a piece of trash, and there's a few good apples instead of everybody being good people, and there's a few bad apples, which you got to expect. There's no such thing as perfection. The whole point is, you know that Satanism conquered all of the minds, just about all the minds of the people of humanity, when you got almost everybody is a fucking verminous ball of trash. And there's only a few fucking really good people left in the world who have their fucking moral thinking straightened out. That's where we're at. That's why I say we never had a freedom movement. We never even began a freedom movement. What we have is a bum fight of people who are wretched thinkers. They're dumb people. They're wretched thinkers. They couldn't think their way out of a fucking wet tissue. That's how fucking poor their thinking skills are. That's how poor their critical fucking thinking skills are, because they don't have the trivium in hand. And then they want to attack people who do have an orderly mind and who do have the trivium in hand, but are just angry because they're surrounded by insane fucks who don't want to improve. It takes its toll. I'm not a robot. I'm a human being. I want to feel my emotions. I never want to be a robot. I never want to dull it out to the point where I can't feel it like other dumb fucks have, because they've been told bad emotions should just be purged. No, they shouldn't. They're a direction. They're a compass for direction. And they're telling you the direction you got to go in, which is to tell other people that they're fuck-ups. And they haven't improved. And it's not okay that they don't want to and that they think they're okay. At least when I was a Satanist, when I was a piece of verminous fucking garbage, and I'm not anymore. Now I'm an actual good person who is telling other people how to conquer the ego inside of them and become a good person, but they don't want to fucking listen because they're verminous trash like I used to be. Only the difference is their ego is even more fucking hardened. At the point where I was a black-hearted fucking eugenics Satanist, eugenicist Satanist, working with the fucking people who are trying to kill everybody, I at least could acknowledge back then, there's a problem with me. There's a problem with my thinking. It took a while, and you know what it took? It took good people continuously hammering on me, telling me that I was a piece of shit. They had to keep saying, dude, your thinking's way fucked up. You're a piece of shit because you think that way. You think you're a good person and you're not. You're actually a piece of shit human being. I was told this by certain people. And other people said it not quite as harshly, but really made me think about my thoughts and my behavior. And then I had to go through that long, dark night of the soul, where I'm just totally depressed about what a piece of shit I was. But at least I didn't try to say that isn't the case. That's untrue. For a while I did, but then it finally broke, and it broke quickly. It broke after maybe a few years. These people have stayed like this their entire lives and don't think there's a problem. They think they're okay. That's what I'm trying to tell people. The world is so fucked up. The people of this world are so fucked up. They are so messed up that they think they're okay and there's no problem with themselves. That's how satanically in ego they are. This is what I mean by I got out of ego and they can't get out of ego. I recognized at some point the problem lies inside of me. The problem lies with my wrong thinking regarding what's true and right and moral and just. I had no sense of those things. I had no understanding of those things. I was fighting against all of those fucking things. That's what I mean by being an ego. You're not in harmony with natural law. You're not in harmony with objective morality. All you care about is your own sensate pleasure. I conquered that ego in me. Past tense. It's conquered. Not actively being conquered. It's conquered. There are things you can accomplish, and they're true. I conquered that satanic ego inside of me. Other people can if they work hard enough. The problem is they're even more deeply entrenched in it. They're more committed to it. They're doubling down, tripling down, quadrupling down, 10 times down on their fucking thoughts and behavior, because that's how satanically an ego they are. They can't say the words "I was wrong." They can't acknowledge that they're fucked up. They think they're okay and they're right, and they're not. They're fucked up and they're wrong. And that's what, to take it back to the original question, Wetherill is explaining to people, your thinking is all fucked up. It's fucked up because you're fucked up. Your brain is fucked up. Your physiology is fucked up. The way you were raised, so-called quote unquote raised, was fucked up. The things your parents taught you were fucked up. The things your friends told you were fucked up. The things your teachers told you were fucked up. It's all fucked up thinking. It's all deranged, wrong thought that then leads to crazy, chaotic, and tyrannical results. This isn't that hard to figure out, folks. We should be at the point where we're getting this boom, 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 boom. It clicks, it clicks, it clicks, it clicks. And all people are saying out there is, I can't even comprehend what this guy is saying. I can't hear him. I can't hear. The interview's ruined because he said fuck several times. Could you imagine being that big of a fucking piece of ball of fucking verminous dirt? Dirt! Dirt! Like the fucking Stooges said, they're dirt and they don't care. That's what it is, man. They're dirt and they don't care. They don't even understand how fucked up their thinking is. They're too stupid to even recognize it. They have no framework or basis of comparison for it. And all they want to do is say, listen to this guy there. Let me see if I can get the voice right. Listen to this guy getting so angry about people being as dumb as they are and then ruining freedom for everybody else. That's what you sound like. A drooling, shit in the fucking mouth retard. That's what these fucking people sound like in the bomb fight. The bomb fight. You know, we need a theme song like Love Boat. That's what we need. That we should just make it a total fucking comedy mockery hour, because that's all these fucking bums deserve. The bomb fight. Soon we'll be trying some other dumb shit. You know, that's literally what we have to do, is just mock these fucking retards. That's what they deserve.
I'm sorry to laugh, but that is hilarious. That is, to me, very, very funny. These people, I could not agree more, Mark. You know, I'm different than you, of course. I wouldn't go and start shouting like that myself, but I'm still only about 5 or 6 years into this. Maybe in 20 years I'll be screaming too. But yes,
well,
I
let me
agree.
ask you
People
this,
are
James. Imagine if 14 or 15 more years go by, and not only has nothing improved, but it sharply degenerates into a worse and worse and worse condition, even then compared to today. Because that's what I've lived through. You know, I feel like I really genuinely woke up in the year 2002, shortly after 9/11 happened. You could say I was on my way to waking up even well before that in years, but I still had a lot of really fucked up thoughts. 2002, after 9/11 happened, motivated me to really learn what was really going on and get my head right and start doing the real internal work upon myself. Okay, so that's 23 years ago, man. Imagine how frustrating it is to see the world degenerate from even what it was back in 2001 and 2 into what it is today. And then picture, so 6 years, okay, I've been doing it for 23. Imagine 17 years of abject degeneration into a far, 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 far worse situation, not only for yourself, but your family and children. For 17 years. And then extrapolate. If you've been saying the same general things, extrapolate how you're going to feel 17 years from now, if any of us are alive at that long of period of time. Imagine how you're going to feel if things have sharply degenerated into worse and worse and worse and worse decline in society, and all the people in the so-called freedom movement do is attack you and tell you you're wrong. Almost all of them, with the exception of a tiny little fucking pissant handful of people who can hear what I'm saying. And that's what it still is. Nobody's going to tell me my work has had some tremendous impact on a whole fucking lot of people. It's a tiny, pissant, almost insignificant number of people who actually have the mental acumen and the healing internally to even be able to hear what I've been saying for fucking close to 20 years publicly and for 23 years privately.
When
they don't even have that ability in themselves. So I want the people who are starting to do this kind of work or have been doing it for a few years, extrapolate out 17, 18, 19, 20 years from now. Imagine if not only doesn't the world get any better, it gets dramatically fucking degenerated into a far worse condition than it is now. And not only does that happen, but simultaneous to that, you have people who are still in complete satanic ego telling you you're wrong and you're the fucking problem and you're the fuck up. And your anger is the fucking issue, not their inability to hear the truth and align their behavior to it. Imagine how you would feel emotionally.
Oh, I'd be right where you're at, man. For sure.
I'm not going to be like somebody like Jordan Maxwell or Manly P. Hall. I'm not going to just be like very super calm. What has it accomplished? What has that changed either? Right. I like Manly P. Hall. I love him. I respect him. I love Jordan Maxwell. I love him and respect him. What I'm saying is, until we get street on people, until we just put it in complete, normal, everyday street fucking language and tell someone directly, you're a fuck up. It's not okay that you're a fuck up. It's not okay that you still don't understand and you're this fucking dumb and you still don't understand causal factors. Yeah. It's not okay. What that means is you're a bad person. That's what it definitionally means. When someone doesn't care about the truth or improving themselves or improving the world, it means they're a piece of fucking trash. That's what trash is. They're fucking trash.
It's like
I don't care what color they are. They're trash.
It's like you're sitting there saying, hey, you know, it'd be a great way to stop getting electrocuted. Stop sticking your finger in the light socket. And they're like, what? Bzz.
Yeah.
And eventually, what can you really do other than
electrocute myself? Yeah. I'm going to electrocute myself, motherfucker. You're the problem getting angry at all the electrocuted people, man.
Yeah. What's your problem with electricity, bro?
Yeah. What's your problem with deliberate electrocution? With somebody's willful electrocution of themselves? That's a problem. That's how much of a drooling fucking retard these people are. Which makes me just think they love evil. They love slavery. They hate themselves. They know they're a piece of fucking verminous trash. They don't want to improve. They don't want to learn. Why should I bother? Why should we even fucking bother? That's where my thinking is at. How long are you going to fucking try to teach people that don't want to fucking improve? They don't want to learn. They don't want to grow. They don't want to stop suffering. They need to have unimaginably enormous direct suffering that takes away their fucking physical comfort. That's the only way they're ever going to say, okay, I'm tired of this. Now I'm ready to listen. And even then, probably not. They'll choose to die. That's how deep in ego they are compared to how in ego I was when I was a fucking real Satanist. When I was a priest in Satanism. They're so far beyond that there's no helping these people. They'll choose suffering unto death before they change the way they think. That's how egotistical they are. I changed, past tense, the way I think. That's what I mean by I got out of the satanic ego. Getting out of the satanic ego doesn't mean you can't criticize someone else. That's not what satanic ego is. That's petty tyranny. That's telling someone they're a fuck up and they should improve. And that's what we should do. We should engage in petty tyranny. That's not real macro tyranny. It's not political tyranny. Okay? It's not Petty tyranny means you openly tell somebody how wrong and fucked up they are so that they can recognize it and then start the journey of self-improvement. We need more petty tyrants in the world. We need more people who are angry about stupidity and laziness and injustice and immorality. We don't have enough people angry about those things. That's why they never improve, because people never get on other people to improve those things. Until we get on people to improve, they're not just going to self-improve. People had to get on me to improve. They had to tell me I was a fuck up. They had to tell me I was a piece of shit. Unless those people told me those things, I might still be a fucking piece of trash Satanist today. And that's the other thing, is people want to say I am because I don't accept Jesus as my Lord and Savior. Yeah, that's what doesn't make you a Satanist. Go fuck yourself, dumb fucking skank religionists. You're trash. You don't want to think. That's why you want to believe in bullshit. You think that's an answer? Believing what somebody else told you? I'm not asking for your belief. I'm asking for your self-work and self-improvement. No belief required. No, but because I don't say the answer is Jesus, the answer is Jesus. It's what you fucking sound and look like, you dumb fucks. I don't say the answer is Jesus and drool over myself while I'm saying it like they do. Then I must still be a fucking Satanist, I guess. This is how dumb and unidimensional their fucking garbage thinking is.
It's the in need of savior, complex, whatever you want to call that, is a direct pipeline right to statism, right to Satanism.
That's right.
No one is coming to save you. This is what Mark is trying to get through. And Mark, it was an interview not unlike this one that you did 4 years ago that I heard, and I said, this guy's talking to me. I got to get my shit together, and I got to really start making some improvements and really start, so I really do appreciate your approach to this, man.
It's
because
hard,
there
man.
are people out there that will respond to this and we'll get through.
Dude, it's very frustrating, man. It's very frustrating to hear the same nonsense for 20 fucking years from the dumbest people on this planet that can't hear reality spoken to them because their dumb fucking satanic ego is in the way like a fucking wall 1 billion miles wide and 1 billion miles high made out of solid diamond. That's how hardened their ego is. Mine was a fucking tiny glass fucking wall that I had to tap with a fucking little ball peen hammer and it shattered. I don't know what it's going to take. We just don't have enough people saying the truth harshly to people. That's honestly what I think is the solution. The solution is we got to drop. I'm not complaining about the way anybody's doing whatever they're doing regarding the great work. Any of it is good. Any amount of it done is great. I personally feel people have to start getting realer and realer from a perspective of, I'm not going to try to just educate you scholarly and we're going to define things and we're going to show you some graphs. I think what it's got to get down to is we got to talk straight to people. We got to get up in their fucking face and say, because you still think the way you do, it means you're fucked up and bad. That's what it means. We got to start just laying that out to people. That means you're fucked up and you need healing, and staying like that and thinking that you're okay means you're a verminous piece of fucking trash as a human being. Very few people will come out and say that to another human being because they're worried that that's going to rock the boat or start a fight or maybe even start a physical altercation. I don't care about any of those things because, number one, I'm not worried about offending anybody. Number two, let somebody try to start a physical altercation with me and see what happens to them. I'm not taking any levels of disrespect. I'm too fucking old. I'm too fucking smart. I've done this for too fucking long, and I ain't taking disrespect. I'll put somebody in the fucking ground. You want to see violation of natural law, you'll fucking see it. I'm done with fucking people. I'm definitely done with disrespect. I'm the fucking person who earned respect by fucking doing what I've done for 20 fucking years. You think I'm going to let some verminous piece of trash know nothing speak to me with disrespect and it's going to go unchallenged? I don't even want to keep getting into it. Don't fuck around and find the fuck out. Quick, too. So my point is, we have been too easy on these people. They're not listening. They don't want to listen. They're pieces of trash who think they know better, and they don't. And they have to be told that until they realize they're not as smart as they think they are. I painstakingly made sure I'm getting the answer correct so I don't do harm by what I'm telling people. You know what other verminous pieces of immoral garbage think? He's angry because he's vegan. These are the things people bring up. He's still an ego because he says he's done better than other people. No, untrue. That's not what being in the state of satanic ego means. I can say that I've done better than other people because I have. It's true. It's not egotistical to say what's true. If you're more intelligent than somebody, it isn't egotistical to say, you know what? I worked at becoming holistically intelligent, getting the answers correct through the trivium. You haven't done any of that. You still want to argue based on your feelings and your bullshit that you still hold in your mind. That makes you stupid. That makes you a dumb person. That makes you not holistically intelligent. And I can compare my intelligence to your lack of it. That's not ego. That's not satanic ego. That's saying what's true by comparing two things objectively. Then they want to take their immoral argument of, oh, animals' lives just belong to us to do whatever we want to them and use them however we want. And then say, because I don't conduct that immoral behavior, I don't engage in that immoral behavior, that somehow that's leading to my anger. My diet is leading to my anger. Don't worry about Mark Passio's diet. Mark Passio's diet's just fucking fine. Mark Passio's fucking full of fucking energy, strong as a fucking bull. Don't worry about my fucking energy. Don't worry about my anger coming from not participating in a fucking satanic murder ritual. It's not what it's from, jackass dumb fuck. Okay? The other thing they want to say is because he doesn't believe in Jesus, that's still Satanism. No, it isn't. Satanism is pure fucking egotism and not wanting to learn natural law and not wanting to come out of fucking bullshit religions like the belief in authority, which is pure, direct slavery and harm and immunity.
May I tell the story of when you and I met in person? Because I think that this story is a really good example of who you are. And I don't tell this story to invite people to come up to you in public and do anything like that. That's up for you. Just like, so anyways,
Yes, before you begin this, can I just say the reason I even agreed to do this interview today, because I told people I'm not going to take interviews really until big influencers want to hear me. And I may not even accept those. I may say, if you're a really big influencer and you have a gigantic audience, you can't give me one interview. I need 10. I need a block of 10 interviews to lay out my entire understanding and worldview. We need to do a 10-part series or I don't accept it. Right? That's how much time an influencer has to give me. The problem is none of these influencers have their own worldview straightened out. They haven't figured out the real answer. That's why they don't recognize my work as the answer. So I just want to say the time that we met in person at PorkFest was what impressed me regarding yourself as a human being to such an extent that made me want to do this interview. I just wanted to say that. So it was a very good experience I considered it an impressive meeting in person.
Well, thank you.
I just wanted to say that. Yes.
Thank you very much. So, all right, here it goes. If people aren't familiar with PorkFest, it's a yearly festival that goes on up here in New Hampshire where I live. And in 2023, Mark had come up, and I was interested in meeting Mark. There was going to be some more people there. Richard Grove was going to be there. So I was like, oh, this is a good opportunity to meet some people. And so, mind you, everyone in the audience, Mark and I have done a good handful of interviews together. Prior to this, we've been on panels together and whatnot. So in a way, we had already kind of met. Um, I always laugh when I tell this story because it just shows who you are, Mark, and it really warms my heart. So I'm walking up the path, and there's Mark sitting at the picnic table, and with his friends that came to Porkfest with him. They're about to eat lunch at the Autonomy Kitchen. And I walk up and I said, "Oh, hi, Mark. Very nice to meet you." I reached out my hand. We shook hands. Mark said, "It's very nice to meet you too." And I said, "Oh, you're about to eat. Would it be a problem for me to sit down and join you and talk for a few minutes?" And Mark said, "Absolutely not. Please help yourself. Sit down." And we got to talking. And I was wearing a shirt that I had made, and it looks like one of those cheesy lawn signs, but instead of it all of the weird slogan people kind of shit that's on those lawn signs, like science is real and love is love, it says a lot of healthy, freedom-oriented, better rhetoric than what you get on the lawn sign. And Mark and I are conversing about my shirt, and he's complimenting the shirt, and he asked me where I got it. I told him I made it. And Mark said, "What's your name, man?" And and I said, "I'm James Cordiner." And the look on Mark's face was one of just, "Oh my God." But I just got a haircut. I wasn't wearing my hat.
I didn't recognize you because you had cut your hair.
And I'm a little bit taller in person than I appear to be on screen. I get that a lot, actually. People that I meet in real life are like, "Oh, I imagined you as shorter." Anyways, that's not important. What is important is the character that this man, the generosity with his time that this man showed me before he realized that he and I were already well acquainted, right, and that this is a person that we've met online multiple times. And it showed a little bit into just who he is as a person and how not in the ego he is. So I wanted to make sure that I told that story even after allowing you to have the floor for our time here today. And I wanted to thank you for that meeting and that experience, because that is one of my favorite Mark Passio stories to tell, because people see us online. They get this idea of this persona right, like that people have online. And yep, when you're hot under the collar, as you've been this afternoon, people will not get a chance to see who you really are. You are a caring individual who wants to bring freedom to the world. And I see you as an incredible person. And I just want to thank you for your time today and for all of the years of hard work that you've done. And if you're able to continue, please do so, but not at the expense of your own personal well-being and health, please.
That's what I need to do. Man. I need to back up from.
I'm sure you hear it a lot, but I do. The level of work that you've put out is very, very few and far between people that can put out the level of work that you've put out over the years, and you deserve to be like, I've done what I've been tasked to do. And you've said it before, and you have. In my humble opinion, you have. So I just wanted to make sure I said that before we signed off.
Yeah, don't worry about Mark Passio. Mark Passio in the long term of things will be fine, because I've done what I came here to do. I have done what I was charged by creation to do. And when I'm laying on my deathbed, or however I exit this world, it will be perfectly fine for me to go, because I did what I came here to do. Many people, and I've talked about this privately with friends personally, when they leave this plane of existence, they are going to leave it in a state of abject shock. That's going to be the consciousness that they leave the world the earth plane in. Really mark these words right now. Most people, when they die, are going to leave this world in a state of abject shock. And I'm going to give you a little extra here, a personal anecdote from my own life this year. My father passed away this year, well, earlier in 2024. In May of 2024, my biological father died. Okay. I saw him on the day that he passed away. And the only way that I could describe the look on his face as he was getting ready to die is complete shock. No peace, no tranquility, no, it's okay. 100% fear and shock in the eyes. And that is because someone does not really do and accomplish what they really should be doing in life. And the work that they are really tasked to do at this time in human history. It's a life left incomplete and undone. And what that's going to lead to when each individual is on their deathbed for most people is abject shock when they die. That will not be Mark Passio. So no one needs to worry about that. They need to worry about what they're doing so they don't leave the earth plane in a state of abject shock. Because I'm not leaving that way. I've made sure I'm not leaving that way. Okay? I'll leave it on that personal anecdote and just let people know if they want to really hear the work that I've put out over all these years and get the real answers of what has to be changed and what the requirements are for real freedom. WhatOnEarthIsHappening.com is my website. James, I want to thank you for your personal contributions to the great work. You've done a phenomenal job. Thank you for your continued efforts, my friend.
Well, thank you, Mark. You've been an inspiration over the years, my friend. And yeah, as people, thank you for plugging your website. Go check out the links in the show notes right now. Go check that out. And well, while you're doing that, just ask yourself, what do you want your legacy to be? Do you want to be a part of the machine of slavery, or do you want to have actually tried at least to do something about the tyranny and the horror that is faced, that the future generations are facing? That's what keeps me going. I got children, people that listen to my channel often enough. They've come to that realization by now. I've got my own children. That's what keeps me going. What kind of shade, if any, do you want to provide for the future? Because it's coming, whether you like it or not. Time keeps on ticking. That's just the way it goes. So with that, we'll leave you. And I thank you all for your time and attention this day watching this video. My guest today was Mark Passio of WhatOnEarthIsHappening.com. And I am James Cordiner. And my channels are Voluntaryist Academy, all over the place. I'm going to start posting stuff from the archives, folks. I think I'm about to bring back some of the old Hitchhiker's Guide to Truth and Black Pill Digest stuff to the channel to make sure that you guys know where I cut my teeth and got into this game. So I thank you all, and I'll see you guys next time.